Hey guys, what's up? It's Marlene again, surrounded by the bee palette. Make sure you check out all my videos. I've been posting videos, so in case you don't know this, I've been posting some videos. So make sure you keep up with all my videos. So today, guys, I wanted to talk about well, the bee palette, of course. So this is my third eyeshadow palette. It's my first design, but it's coming out in third place. But my third eyeshadow palette, which is called the bee palette, was La Baie Creole, the Creole bee. It will be out October 15th. Okay, October 15th is $52 and the shipping is 15 because it's priority shipping with signature confirmation. So that comes out to $67. It's all pretty. So don't forget, check it out October 15th. Put in your calendar because I need an order from you. Okay, how about that? How about that? So what's up, guys? What's up? So today's video also, let me tell you, I also have a Patreon. So please check out my Patreon. I will be posting more content on there. There's already content on there. When we used to do the live stream and stuff, I just couldn't keep them here because I'm gonna keep this a bit more professional, classy, and sophisticated. Black and fabulous, you know what I'm saying. So they will be on Patreon. I'm gonna have more videos on Patreon addressing certain topics. I will also do a lot of reality TV show reviews, but they'll be on Patreon. Because opinions out here, you can get killed for your opinions. So they will be behind a wall, so they'll be on Patreon. My Patreon is called I Care About Black Issues. If you check out the description box below, the link will also be below. Third announcement, October 15th also, I'm launching my online courses. Pre-order price is $20. Yes, you'll get 10 courses, $20 per course. 10 classes per course, right? And every week I will drop a class. You can go at your own pace. You can go at your own time. It's really up to you. It's really chill. Truly want you guys to have access to it. The classes I'll be having, the courses I'll be having is the Fear Crusher course, the Mindset course, and Fate Bootcamp. So they will start October 15th. And I will have the link down below. If it's not there, it will be there eventually. And then you can just go on the website and click and get the special pre-order rate of $20. Just $20. Super easy, right? Because I love you like that. And I do want you to take it. It's super awesome. Super awesome. So today's video brought to you by the Bee Palette and Lane Lashes. Oh, I forgot. Fourth announcement. I am looking for video sponsors. Yes, I want to partner with Black women who have boutiques. If you have a clothing boutique, because now that I'm going to be shooting a lot, I need some clothes, so we can work together. If you want me to shout you out, I'll put a B-roll of your brand. If you're interested in promoting, especially if you have outfits, I like outfits, I like jewelry, I like hair. So if you want to do outfits, whatever, anything that I can put on my body and showcase to people, because I'll be doing a lot of ads, and then I can put your B-roll, let me know. So I am looking for micro businesses who are looking to promote, and we can work together until the end of the year. I'll put you in my videos. So send me a DM or send me an email or leave a comment if you're interested, and I'll find you. Okay, cool. So today's video, I want to kind of go back to what I said on another video yesterday talking about B. Simone, and it really is going to be about being shameless in 2021, okay? And for the remainder of your life, actually, especially as it pertains to putting yourself in a position where you're able to earn more money, okay? I think it's truly important. I was talking to someone the other day, and the person she has gone through some very awful things. She's been abused with the S word, okay? And so she came out to her family. She told the family. And even though she told the family, because the abuser is also the provider, is head of household, has a lot of money, the entire family, including grandparents, cousins, everybody is siding with the oppressor, right? And pretending that she's not telling the truth, even though I do believe deep down inside, they know that she's telling the truth. And so she's really hurt by that, because now she has to she had to cut them off and be all by herself. And it's crazy, for as much as sometimes people might be toxic, but family is still family, and you still need your family sometimes. So she gets really lonely. And so talking to her, what I said to her was, for you to win this fight, you need to be incredibly successful. Because one thing I've recognized in life is that people give their allegiance to people that have something to give them, right? If you have nothing or not that you have nothing, but if people feel as though you have nothing to give them, right? If people feel as though you have nothing to give them, if people feel as though you haven't come into your season, if people feel as though like you haven't, you're not in fruition yet, right? People will align with even evil energy because their interests, you see, people go wherever their interests are safe, wherever their interests can multiply, wherever their interests can grow, right? So it's like when we recognize that a family is dependent on the person, even though the person is evil, they're more likely going to try to rationalize, justify, because they need that person to survive, right? Now, if you can work so hard in your life that you can become even more successful than this person and be more abundant than this person and be more resourceful than this person, then you will see quickly how people will regain a sense of righteousness, a sense of justice, and a sense of fairness, right? Because that's truly what the world is, right? The world is all about what can you do for me, you guys. I kid you not. You could be a really sweet person, but if people feel as though like, well, I can't really monetize your sweetness, so I don't really want to be your friend, right? Oh, yeah, you're doing this, but can you get me this amount of followers? Can I make money from you? Like, people are always thinking about their interests. And that is something that I had to learn. That was a very, very hard and painful lesson, right? Because it happened with a couple ladies, and I was very disappointed in their behavior, and it was really hurtful at first. It was hurtful for a whole year. And that's why I decided to really go into fitness, and I'm so glad for my fitness journey. Shout out to my trainer. He hasn't seen me in a while, though, but he's still my trainer. Shout out to Jasper. Jasper's my trainer here in New Orleans. His Instagram handle is the Athletic Sports Institute. The Athletic Sports Institute. I'll put it in the description about you. You can check out Jasper. But if Jasper helped me so much, like it's crazy how a trainer who's like just like physical fitness can help you with your mental fitness, right? But when I realized that, Marlene, you're upset because, or you're sad, or you're disappointed because you feel like people should have been a bit more loyal to you. You feel as though people should have had more gratitude for what you've done, for what you did, how you connected people. There are a lot of people I connected, y'all. And when things go well for them, they came and said, oh, you know what? I would like to thank Marlene for the introduction. I would like to thank Marlene for the opportunity. I would like to thank Marlene for even bringing me up there, right? People don't do that because they want to make it seem as though they worked it out on their own, and they didn't. There are a lot of people that I took to beauty brands to record content at their headquarters. A lot of people. There are a lot of people who've gotten like makeup palettes with beauty brands, right? And I'm the one who introduced them to the person. They didn't know these people. I brought them there. And they get there and they don't even say, oh wow, like, Marlene was a door for me, right? They don't say that. And that's cool. And that used to really bother me, right? But then I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be really honest with you guys, especially with like doing fitness. I got my revenge. I did the same thing. And me too. I will never say the person's name. You understand what I'm trying to say? Oh, yes, y'all. I changed. Once I've recognized, it was September 2018. No, sorry. September 2019. Was that it? I recognized that the Black Panther was my spirit animal. Yes, because I kept seeing the Black Panther everywhere. It's a long story, but I'll explain that later. And I started to study the Black Panther and how she moves and what she does. And I have this thing that I call like Black Panther mode. Like when I say beast mode, like I have a thing that I say to myself, like, Marlene, it's time for you to activate beast mode. When I say beast mode, it's Black Panther mode. It's something. It's really crazy. But we can talk about the Black Panther later, though. So same thing. I match people's energy. And I just, the old me would be like, oh, Marlene, no, that's not nice. The new me was like, Marlene, do it. Because people need to know. People need to know what they do to other people. You have to train people out here in these streets, right? You have to train people. When someone disrespects you because they feel like, oh, you have less than me, or, oh, you're not who you used to be, don't ever get it twisted. I was depressed. I wasn't deceased. You hear me? And just because you go through depression, just because you might lose some things, just because your money might not look the same, it doesn't mean your destiny has changed at all. See, destiny is consistent. If you're called onto a thing, if God has called you, if God has anointed you, like David, like, okay, let me give you a good story, right? If God, let me finish this. If God has anointed you, it doesn't matter the trepidations of life. It doesn't matter the circumstances of life, because what God has spoken over your life will come to pass. Sometimes irrespective of your own will. I've had things that God has orchestrated in my life I didn't even want, but it happened. I was like, oh my gosh, you did it without my consent. But because it's like destiny doesn't always require your consent, though. You know, but it's the same thing for David. Like when David gets anointed by Samuel, he goes right back to the wilderness. He doesn't get anointed and it's like, oh, I'm going to the no. He goes right back to the wilderness. Right? He didn't become king right away. It took David 17 years. 17 from the time he was anointed. It took him 17 years to become the king of all Israel, because he would be like king of certain like groups of people, but of all the 12 tribes of Israel united, it took him 17 years. 17, right? The man anoints you, you go right back to the wilderness. Your dad still treats you like crap. Jesse did not change his behavior towards David because he got anointed. He probably was even mad, like, why would you anoint this fool? What the heck is this? So he probably even treated it even worse, like, why? Because Jesse has his favorite sons. Because when Samuel comes, he doesn't want people to know that. He does not want Samuel to know that David is there. Like David is his other son. But the problem is, the horn that Samuel brought, it wasn't bending over. He's like, this doesn't make any sense. Like somebody has to be missing. But he wasn't trying to have David be seen. Like, no, he's not his favorite. He don't like that boy. David's not his favorite. So I'm sure he was like, what? If you have your favorite child and then a prophet of God comes and blesses your least favorite child, no, now I'm going to torture you. You know what I'm saying? So imagine what he had to go through. He's like, my bad. I'll just go back to the lions out there, right? And then like he has to go slay the Goliath. He slays Goliath. Saul doesn't honor his promise. Then Saul tries to kill him. Like, yo, David been through it. David's been through a lot. Okay? David goes through a lot. But destiny is destiny. And you know, and one thing we have to realize as people is like our destiny is not even a matter of our own personal will. It's God's business. And nobody interferes with God's business, right? So when you're in a position that people are devaluing you or they're dismissing you or they're treating you funny, you must recognize that excuse me. The only reason why that's happening because you're not honoring your destiny. And see, when you don't honor your destiny, you will be devalued by people. They'll treat you for less than what you are. They'll try to pay you less than what you're worth. Like when I tell you I had a situation just like Jacob and Laban. And the Lord quickened it in my spirit. I remember the day God hit me with, Marlene, this is exactly what you're going through. I said, Jesus. But the Lord said, I'm going to show you how to get out of this. And at that time, because I live on the West Bank, right? I went to Lapalco. And I was looking at this warehouse. And God said, if you want this, listen to what I tell you to do. And I kid you not, best advice ever. Best advice ever. You see, one thing I love about Jesus, like I'm telling you, God has shown me, check your emotions until you have possession of that which you truly desire. Check your emotions, Marlene. Check your emotions. No, Jacob's a G. Jacob's really smart. You see? And in order to realize your destiny, y'all, you need resources. Let me be really honest, right? You need resources. You need resources, and you need to be resourceful, right? So when you go through this life, when you go through your life, I encourage you to bear fruits, right? I encourage you to bear fruits. I encourage you to be a fruitful person. Because the young lady said to me, but Marlene, I told her, I said to her, I was like, you're going to have to be rich. You're going to have to be rich. If you want to win your family back, if you want to win your people against this person over there, you're going to have to be rich. But then she was like, but doesn't the Bible says that like it's super hard for the rich man to get into heaven? Like to know, like it's a lot easier than a camel to go through like the eye of the needle, right? Than a rich man to get into heaven. And I said to her, which I'm going to say to you guys, right? Riches by themselves do not make a person wicked. Right? And I think a lot of times too, what we have to remember when we read the scriptures, right? The translations can change a lot. But I think what Jesus meant, because Jesus has rich friends, right? Jesus has rich friends. So it's not like, oh, because you're rich or something, you're not going to make it into heaven. That's a false teaching, right? Jesus has rich friends, right? Lazarus is rich. Because remember, every time he goes there, it's 12 people, like 13 people deep. And Lazarus takes care of all of them. Zacchaeus, the short man who says, like, oh, when I've wronged somebody, I will pay them 4 times the amount. 4 times? Oh, no, you ain't broke, right? Jesus has a lot of rich friends. Mary Magdalene, when she takes the alabaster perfume, you can even go look on Google right now. You'll see alabaster is expensive. I think it's like almost like $300 per fluid ounces. Jesus has rich friends, right? So I think what the Bible talks about, maybe is it really the word rich man, or is it more of a greedy man, right? A man who has a lot but refuses to share with others. But the Bible, like, not just the Bible, but the understanding of God as creator of the universe is that God is abundant. God is fruitful. God multiplies, right? Like women are born with all these eggs in their uterus, right? Like flowers and, fruits and all these seeds. Like everything in this world that we see made from God is abundant. The ocean, look how abundant it is. Everything is so abundant. God is so abundant. The mind of God is just so abundant. And that's whether you're a Christian, whether you are Jewish, whether you are Muslim. I'm just saying, like, anybody who believes in, like, God, the creator, understands that God's essence is abundance. God is very, very abundant. Like, we wouldn't pray to God, we wouldn't believe in God, we wouldn't have hope in the Lord if he was not abundant. Because then it's like, well, if I pray to you, you can't really satisfy my needs. Why am I praying to you, though? You know what I mean? But you pray to God, you believe in God, you hope in God, you even call him Father because you know God is abundant. And that abundant, it's so wide, it can't be contained. So therefore, you have your assurance that what you need, God can provide. And I truly believe that if we say that we are called and we are made in the image of God, we must be resourceful people. We must be abundant people. We must be people of means. You know what I'm saying? You must be a person of means. So I truly, truly want to encourage everybody to, like, give yourself permission to succeed. Give yourself permission to be fruitful. Give yourself the permission and the means to be abundant. Stop living in darkness. Stop living in mediocrity. Stop pretending that certain things don't interest you. Stop pretending that you don't want to buy certain things. You don't want to have certain things. Stop being cheap. God is not cheap, right? That's why I say I strongly dislike these people on social media who try to help people financially by telling them to be so restrictive. Oh, you have to save for everything, and you can't spend money on this, and you can't buy, you shouldn't buy a luxury bag, and you shouldn't buy a fancy car. The issue is not whether you buy a fancy bag or not. Can you afford it? Can you easily afford it, right? If you work hard and you have the means to treat yourself, you should. Now, should you buy 25 bags? You only have, like, one set of shoulders. You can only wear one. I mean, some people do cross bags, but I'm just saying, like, is that necessary? You know what I'm saying? No. Do you truly need to buy 20 cars when you only have 2 legs and 1 pair behind? You can only drive 1 car at a time, right? So it's like everything within moderation, right? And the person shouldn't be too poor because that's dangerous. Right? It's like it leaves you vulnerable. It leaves you open to, like, so many attacks, emotion attacks, financial attacks, even in your marriage, your relationships. It leaves you exposed to evil, right? And at the same time, also maybe having too much money, also that you hoard money, is also dangerous, right? But nonetheless, it's like we should all strive to be fruitful. Give yourself permission to succeed. Give yourself permission to dream. Give yourself the permission to say, I want to make this amount of money. Give yourself the permission to say, I would like to have this kind of house, right? Enter into a space of abundance. Give yourself permission. And don't let anybody guilt trip you or make you feel as though, oh, if you acquire too much success on this earth, somehow God is going to deny you access to heaven. No. Having money is not the issue. It's what you do with your money. It's the mindset that you choose to have while you have the money, right? A lot of people will say to me, like, oh, Marlene, I want to open a non-for-profit. Oh, I want to go back to Africa. I want to do this, but you need money. You don't feed the poor with prayers. You know what I'm saying? You don't heal. I mean, I guess the money can, but I'm just saying, like, like there are a lot of problems in life. You need money to solve them. You need money. And the Bible, and I think it's the book of James that talks about that. Like, yeah, if a poor person comes to you, a homeless person comes to you, you say, oh, I'm just going to pray for you. How about you pray for them and you feed them? How about you pray for them and give them some money? And that's what the word of God says, that faith without works is dead. How can you say that you have faith in the Lord, but you're not fruitful? There's a problem. There's a problem, right? The word says also, like, a little bit of slumber, a little bit of sleep, and poverty will creep upon you like a thief in the night. So even Jesus is not, he's not for poverty. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be poor to prove that you are sold out to God. No, you're lazy. You're not trying to think. You're not trying to stretch yourself. You're not trying to learn from different people. Go to different people. Get to know different people. Trying to make friends. Like, expose yourself to people who are going to help you think on a different scale, on a different plane. Like, wow, I didn't even know this was possible. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know this was possible. You got to consume content that's going to help you, like, to understand, like, the things that you can do. Like, look at Tabitha Brown on Instagram, right? This lady is probably a millionaire now just making vegan food. Like, her fame comes from making vegan recipes. Like it's not that hard. She doesn't need a warehouse. She does not need inventory. And she was depressed. Tabitha Brown was depressed like 4 years ago. She said she was depressed. She said she was driving Uber. She had to drive Uber. Now she flies in private jets, right? Now she has book tours, right? But her thing is, like, what really made her famous are her vegan recipes that she would post. She even has a YouTube channel. But the YouTube didn't take, Instagram took, right? You see that? You see how crazy that is? It's so crazy, right? But this is what happens when you put your hand out there to the universe and, God, I am ready to receive. Amen. I want you to give yourself the permission to succeed. Don't feel like, I'm being greedy. No, you're not. And I said in my other video, when it's Rihanna, when it's Beyonce, when it's Jay-Z, when it's Jeff Bezos, right? When it's Bernard Arnault and so many other people who are very affluent. Nobody says, oh, you should stop. You have enough businesses, right? People are like, oh, she gets to the bag, right? When it's Saweetie, oh, I love how Saweetie gets to the bag. Nobody calls Saweetie greedy. When she goes from a McDonald's commercial to a Pretty Little Thing commercial to a Brandon Blackwood commercial to this brand, like, she's Morphe, like, she has a lot of brand deals, right? She endorses a lot of products, right? But nobody says to Saweetie, oh, look, she's greedy. No, but, oh, I love how she's getting to the bag. I like how she gets to the bag, right? It's funny how when rich people want to get richer, nobody calls them greedy. Oh, she's getting to the bag. So the same goes for you. The same goes for you, right? If people are not calling them greedy, have peace of mind about pursuing your endeavors, right? Have peace of mind about seeking to build the wealth that you need to build. Have peace of mind about, putting your seeds. You got to plant your seeds, y'all. You won't reap if you don't plant your seeds, right? Have peace of mind about that. And not to do a shameless plug, but it's true. And that's why I did the Fear Crusher class. That's why I did the Fate Boot Camp. That's why I have the Mindset course, because these are things that I had to work on myself. So I constructed courses around teachings that I even needed for myself. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I really do hope that you sign up for any of the courses, and hopefully all the courses. It's only $20. $20 for something that is for a course that is truly going to help you check yourself. Because I know the Bible very well. So whatever you want to use the Bible for, to hide from where I can handle you very, very well. Because God has never said, I will love you more if you're empty-handed. Even the word says that it's the man who dies without leaving an inheritance to his children is wicked. So the Bible calls you dying empty-handed, leaving your children in problems, a wicked person. And when you're called wicked in the Bible, it's synonymous with being called a witch. But when I say that, people get upset. But a wicked person is a witch. If you have wickedness in the inside of you, you are a witch, like you're practicing witchcraft, because you're wicked. Because the Spirit of God is a spirit of love. It's the spirit of understanding. It's the spirit of mercy. It's the spirit of forgiveness. It's the spirit of mercy. 1 Corinthians 13, Yeah, speaks on that word. That love is what? That love covers a multitude of sin, right? God is not wicked. God gives. We sin, He gives. We pray, He gives. We don't pray, He gives. Everybody can wake up in the morning and just breathe. Whether you thank God, you don't thank Him. Whether you acknowledge God, you don't acknowledge Him. He allows so many people to breathe. Even people in the prison who've done horrible things are breathing. They're walking. And yet they took somebody's life, or yet they poisoned a bunch of people. You see, God is very, very, very merciful. So any person who denies mercy to another person, any person who denies forgiveness to another person, you are dealing with somebody who's wicked. You're wicked. That's wickedness. Person who is lazy, somebody who doesn't want to work, someone who does not want to be productive, you're wicked. If you're living life and you're not trying to understand how to become more successful, more fruitful, more abundant, you're not trying to acquire knowledge to multiply what God has given you, you're wicked. That is me. And you have the parable of the talents, right? And it is said that they will take from the one that has the least and they'll give it to the one that has most. And that's exactly what happens today. The rich keep getting richer because they know how to multiply. So they keep taking from those who don't know what the heck they're doing with the money. Oh, you don't know what to do with this? Okay, I'll take it from you. You see? So you will have to give yourself permission, right? If you're young, even no matter what the age, you can start a YouTube channel. You can start an Amazon store. You can start teaching courses. There's so much. You can write an ebook. Some people do like e-courses. You can start cooking for people. Like there's so many things that you can do. You have so much talent inside of you. You have so many gifts on the inside of you. It's time for you to find your courage, right? You got to find your courage to start nurturing, harvesting those gifts, because you guys, I'm telling you, the way we're living now, inflation, all this stuff, I'm like, dang, like people have to start learning to not be afraid anymore and say, I have to believe in myself. I have to give myself permission to be successful. I have to give myself the permission to be fruitful. I have to give myself the permission to be abundant. Amen. So, I don't want to do it too long because I already did like a longer video, but this is what I want to say to you today, right? Give yourself permission to be successful. You could come from a family where nobody ever had anything. That doesn't really matter, because ultimately you come from God. So you came from something, okay? You can come from a family that's not educated on finances, whatever. That it really doesn't matter, okay? You can say, oh, I have fear, I have depression. I acknowledge it, but there are people who have way more fears than you, way more depression than you, and yet they've conquered it all, right? So we have to be active. Like, we have to stop making excuses. We have to be willing to, reinvent ourselves. I know, like last night, I was talking to China, and I was telling China, I was like, China, one thing about you that I've loved, because I've known you since I was like in high school. People talking about maybe college. I don't know, maybe it was like senior year, but people used to sing about Black China all the time. Right? I was like, it's crazy to me how you have constantly reinvented yourself. And she's like, oh, thank you, Martin. I'm like, no, China, Black China, like Angela, she inspires me so much, you guys. She inspires me so much. Like, she's so brave. She's so brave. Because I'm from, we're both from the DMV, but she's from DC, like towards Anacostia. You guys, that place is bad. It's bad. I'm from Fairfax, Virginia, right? So I'm like, I don't know if I had lived your life, if I could have made what you made out of your life. She's very brave, very courageous, and she constantly reinvents herself, right? So you also have to do the same. There are people in worse situations than you, and they've made so much out of so little, right? So give yourself permission to succeed. The courses will start October 15th. They're $20. That's a special price. It's $20, self-taught. I will drop a class every once a week, right? But get on there. The link will be in the description below. Get on there. $20, right? For 10 courses, like 10 classes per course. That's pretty awesome, right? So I will see you October 15th for class. I'm excited. I am. I'm excited to talk to you. I am. I'll take good care of you, I promise, okay? So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye. Bisous. Bye-bye.